Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the episode number 15 of this series of interviews that I will be doing to the best European players who qualified for Worlds in Anaheim 2025. And with me, we not only have the guest number 15, but also this player is placed number 15th on the Europeans leaderboard. So, welcome to AMindJoke.
Hello.
So, tell the audience a little bit about more yourself, how you get close to the game, and what you do for a living. How old are you?
So, okay, I'm 31. I'm just an IT technician in life, and the reason I started to play the game back in the days in 2016 was because before Go, I was a very hardcore World of Warcraft player. So I really loved MMO RPG. So to me, this was just like in real life MMO. So that's the reason I started it. And I grinded a lot in the first years. But then as PvP came out, I found actually a reason to compete, which is something else I love. So that's what got me into it. And after just like a year, 2 years after I started playing PvP, which was 2020, we got the Play Pokemon circuit, and then I just focused on that one specifically.
Yeah. I mean, lots of players just gradually moved away from less official and still valid form of PvP just to concentrate more on
Yeah,
on what is considered the official circuit. Also, yeah, it kind of makes sense even under just a simple economic point of view. Just this is the format where you can get some money and some mediatic also recognition, right?
yeah,
So yeah, definitely it's a much more appealing format, and a lot of players are just trying and grinding their best in the Play Pokemon circuit. So I do have your season here. So you started in Dortmund, first tournament of the season, very strong. So 5th place, which is supposed to be top 8, right? Or top
yeah.
6, top 8. Yeah.
Top six actually, but yeah, you can say top eight. Don't think we can say top six, but yeah, it is different actually, but yeah, fifth place
Yeah.
tied.
Yeah, I think like the points are basically the same, and also
Yeah, the points
uh,
are basically the same between fifth
yeah,
and eight are the same. So yeah,
yeah,
but
and the
let's say top eight.
boxes are also the same. Yeah,
Box is probably also the same.
yeah. So you had 3 great results this season. So Dortmund, Stuttgart, and Utrecht. So
Yeah,
two out of the 3 are in Germany. The third one
yeah,
is still close to Germany. But yeah, you didn't like France, you didn't like Poland, you didn't love UK,
yeah.
and yeah, even in your home country, you
Even my
didn't
home.
do as well as you would have expected. But yeah, we will get to them. So let's begin with Dortmund, and yeah, with the first regional of the season. How do you decide to approach the meta? And yeah, tell us your insights.
So as soon as Worlds ended and they officially announced all the nerfs we got, I was very happy about Annihilate nerf because I think that was the problem with the previous meta because it was just too much fast move pressure and relying on baits because of like Night Slash Shadow Ball moveset. And once they nerfed everything, I already started to think about new season and stuff. And usually my preparation doesn't like actually come to actual testing with someone until like 1 2 week before the tournament. But I usually play a lot of GBL, which for me, uh, at some point I was really trying harding for getting rank one and stuff, which I did. But nowadays it's more like good practice in general. So I just play it for practice. And what I usually do, I play GBL, and if I find a core of 3 that I like, I usually build around those 3 and just add 3 for coverage. So in this case, in Dortmund, my basically GBL team was Ariados, Dunsparce, and Gator, and I built around those 3. Um, I think Ariados was the MVP here. It was the first tournament ever this season, and I was the only one to get to day two with Ariados. It was barely even seen. It wasn't even top usage, and I think I'm good at the start of a new meta to immediately get what's going to be good or not. So uh, in this case, I thought like I did a good job with Ariados, and most of the time I just relied on it. If you rewatch the games I played on stream, I mostly played Ariados, Dunsparce, and Gator a lot. I relied a lot on Gator, which was also very good. Didn't get hit with the patch, so like uh, I thought it was like still super good, safe. There was nothing actually walling it. Probably the only thing that was actually walling it was Toxapex, I think, but it felt safe. Probably the only thing I regret about that team was the Cress. I had Cress in my team, which I probably used never. I think maybe I played it one game. I don't even remember. Maybe one game or never, but probably never. So I felt like I played with 5 Mons. But every team was so hostile with it. Like uh, every time you faced stuff that you didn't want to play Cress, like Dark. Uh, there was like Malamar. I also faced a lot of Malamar, which was also like the other MVP in the tournament. I think we saw plenty in day two, despite it wasn't. If you, I don't remember if it was top usage, but if it was very low. Uh, and so yeah, this was like one of the teams I built that I'm most proud of. I'd say uh, it's probably just like hard meta, apart from Ariados and Cress, but it worked just perfectly. I had like I felt like in every match I played, I always had a solid plan, and I had play with everything. The only annoying thing that I could face was Malamar plus Toxapex in the same team, and I faced two of them. So it was tough. And it's fun because it's I was kicked out, but by the one I think who I faced the most ever, not only this season but in general in Play Pokemon, which is nickname. Uh, it was always ahead, and every time I faced him this season, I lost. So and this was the very first tournament. Um, but
I have a
overall, yeah,
question about your Dortmund performance,
yeah,
and I was hoping you could give me um, some information about how you decided uh, to play against Clodsire users, because I look at your team and
yeah,
yeah, as large one Clodsire is actually
yeah. It's very
a
safe
little bit
against.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
In fact, the yeah, that's a good question. I think also Gator was pretty safe against me. But even Dunsparce. But what I rely the most, yeah, usually when I build teams, I like to be soft against certain picks, but in a way that I have always play against it. I'm very soft to Claude. You can feel like you can always play it, but I also have play with everything. Also, like it also depends on the moveset. For example, if they have Sludge, my Yasuo is worse, but my Arados become better. If it has Stone Edge, of course, it's the opposite way. For example, I also relied on some, let's say, gimmicks that people might not know because it was at the beginning of the season. For example, Ariados. In like saves, if you save swapped Ariados, which was very possible against most teams because there was no steal around, with Trailblaze, if you steal immediately with Trailblaze and you go straight Trailblaze, you could have won once against the Sludge Claude, which was the most popular one, and people didn't know that. So it took by surprise many people, I think. Uh, and in general, even like Dunsparce was safe against me. Uh, but the thing is, if something is good against you, but you have play, I don't mind that. It's I think it's easier to predict opponents' teams that way rather than just try to call lines. In fact, most of the times people were just playing Dunsparce Claude plus something against me, so I could figure out what to play against them, uh, which I always do probably.
yeah. So yeah, definitely Aridos turned out to be a very solid pick, despite I think in day two usage, Talonflame was a bit
Yeah, I think there
common.
was 2 or 3 at least. I don't remember now, but yeah. Luckily, I think I faced only one during the tournament. I don't remember now, but yeah. I faced a fire also. I also faced Typhlosion on day one, which was also pretty annoying. but I managed to win anyway. Um, but like the most annoying things probably were I would say was Malamar, because Malamar at playing to anything, let's say, but Azu, but also against Azu, you can play it out with energy management, just like
Yeah.
do some pass move pressure, then swap out, and you can play it out. So Malamur was definitely probably the most annoying thing I could face, and I faced many,
Yeah.
especially
I
paired
guess
up with.
probably also Galleria Moltres is not that of a great matchup for your team unless you manage to align Azumarill on it. And Kazim had Moltres. Nickname had the bulkier Moltres. He had Mandibus.
Manibas, yeah.
So how were those games against those two players?
So against Kazim, uh, actually he never played Moltres if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I was I called him to play it in at least one game. But if I remember correctly, mostly relied on Claude, Gator, and Serp. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember like for sure Claude and Gator, maybe even Danspars. I don't remember if he had it in the team. Uh, but Gator and Claude for sure. Um, I remember one game I needed Ariados into what was it? So I relied on Ariados lead a lot in the tournament. I don't. Okay, it's hard to remember every single game,
Yeah.
but yeah. Since I had Ariados, I didn't expect him to play much of Serp, but he actually did it. Uh, and in game three, he actually leaded into Ariados, but I actually lost it. It was a very crazy close game that I could have probably played better. But overall, like when I faced Moltres, I knew my Ariados at a break point, at a bulk point on Sucker Punch, and that allowed me to win once. So, because if you debuff first, you could like hang the first ancient power, and you could get to 3 charge moves. But yeah, mostly I had Azu, which was very scary for Moltres. Claude was a fine matchup, I think. And Dunsparce also very fine. Gator was useful because you could bait out the Moltres if you needed, not when they had both Moltres and Serp though. But overall, I think I had decent play. Just Crest was always useless because people always had Drapion or Moltres or Mandi. But yeah, I think Kazim matchup was kind of neutral. While against Nickname, I think the matchup was not the best. Let me check, like, because I don't remember exactly the team. But yeah,
He
like
had basically Dugong, Shadow
Dugong,
Quack.
yeah, Quagmire. It was a very weird team for the tournament. But I remember, yeah, Malamar Toxapex was something I didn't want to face because, like,
Yeah.
together I couldn't like. Malamar was very annoying in general, and Toxapex also like. I feel like I needed to align to win this matchup, but I remember I had like my Ariados stuck on Mandi, stuff like that. I never had like much chance to win in that matchup. It was just too tough. But yeah, the Mandi, it was something I didn't expect much honestly in this tournament because Azu was very popular, and while Moltres can actually do something against Azu because you can actually flip with some energy. With Mandi's like you don't really do any damage to Azu, so I wasn't expecting much of Mandi. But yeah, it
Okay.
was very annoying for me because if I didn't align the Azu, it was basically good into anything. And my Claude was large, so even against Claude was very fine. Uh, I don't remember exactly how the games went, but I remember I didn't have much chance to win. While against Kazim, I had, I think. Well,
Okay.
Dugong just
And
noticed. I
what
remember.
still very very nice performance. And I see
Yeah,
that your team transition from Dortmund to Lille. Actually,
yeah,
you decided to keep Azu and Ariados as your best duo
yeah.
core. Then you decided to use Diggersby so that Diggersby could just make two roles into one. So the tanky ground and the normal type.
Yeah,
So just giving up on Clodsire and Dunsparce, just using Diggersby to do the same work as two Pokemon. And then you use Drapion, maybe because probably just because he's so
just
strong.
yeah. Okay, let's
And
say in Dortmund it wasn't very popular, but after Dortmund, I think there was also a tournament in NA where Drapion was just like everywhere, and he did good, and then it became popular. That's also why I picked Drapion. Um, and also Diggersby was also getting popular. Same reason why, as poison, I preferred Drapion over Clodsire, because Clodsire started to be
yeah,
a bit not so good. Especially also Malamar became very popular. So every team, like not every team, but most of the teams had Malamar and Diggersby. So it was very hard to play Clodsire in this particular moment. So I chose different stuff. And I chose also Dugong paired with Azu to have more coverage for Diggersby, in fact, because Diggersby was very annoying in general, and I didn't want people to play it against me, especially because I wanted to rely a lot on Drapion. So you have like Dugong, Azu, and Malamar to scare out the Diggersby. Even Ariados had some play. Not the best choice against Diggersby, but still you have some play. And even Drapion itself can do something. So um, I think the team was very like a good team, but I don't remember exactly the games I played. Oh yeah, I remember now. I lost against two Pangoros, which is something I hated for a lot of time. I still don't like Pangoro because he's very polarizing pick. Uh, but yeah, against Pangoro with this team, you basically had to hope to align it to Azu or Ariadas. Uh, and the matchups I played, it wasn't even easy to play Ariados because one of the matchups had Skarmory, which wasn't
yeah,
even considered a pick at the time. But if you had Ariados on Skarmory, you would have been dead. So it wasn't even easy to play Ariados because you would have risked to RPS. And also the other player who had also Pangoro, he had Talonflame. Uh, so also not very comfortable to play Ariados as well. Uh, I don't remember exactly how the game played out, but I just remember that Pangoro annihilated me. So that was
yeah. It
like
was
the sum up
unfortunate. Yeah.
tournament, basically. Pangoro. That tournament, I really hated it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that in Lille, you were hoping to not
Yeah,
to
not
face
face Pangoro.
many. Yeah,
And I faced
then
you.
yeah, that was unfortunate. I also
Yeah.
got kicked out by a Pangoro user in Lille, so yeah, I can definitely relate. And then I see in Gdansk, you actually you decided to go back to the origins, so with Shadow Alula Sanzalash,
Yeah.
and you decided to go back also to the Cold Cipher Alligator Core.
Yeah. Claude Cygator felt good again. Also, I decided to relay on A slash again, also because um, basically Aridos was everywhere and there was not a hard check on it. So the only actual playable steal at the time was A slash, I think, because it was the only playable steal that I played into Diggersby. Um, hard checks Aridos and could actually play against Clodside. So I felt A slash was a good pick for it. Didn't come as expected. Scuffle was playing the same team as me. We were both playing the excellent same team. He got third, so the team was actually good. Probably a bit of like misplays by me. You know, sometimes when you play lots of tournaments in a row, you can't always, let's say, play your best. It's always hard to find like the right team, the right mindset for every single tournament, especially when they're so close to each other. I think there was like 2 weeks difference between these two, between Lille and Dansk. I may be wrong, but it was very close, I think. Um, and then yeah, the team was fine. I remember I faced. I also had my Aridas again, and I faced a team with Fortress and Skarmory. So like
Yeah,
again, something you don't want to face. Also Chesnout.
yeah,
So you know, sometimes you really have to uh, when you play a tournament, you lock in a team, and you really need to hope you don't get those 2 3 picks you don't want to face, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can get over it. Maybe your opponent doesn't play like perfectly, and you can do something to win. But sometimes if the opponent doesn't do any misplay, you just can't do anything. And you know, a lot of 1-2s I lost. Like yeah, even in this tournament, the losses were 1-2, so very close again. And the
Yeah,
team I
sometimes
think
things
was
just don't go your way, and
yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
always like this when you play a lot of tournaments. Sometimes, like you will have that tournament where you go terribly, and yeah, and most of the
yeah,
time there is really nothing you can do about that.
exactly. Like sometimes you need to face the right teams. Uh, and I felt like this wasn't the case. I don't think I played it like very focused like in other tournaments. So I think also it was like just my mindset wasn't enough like good. I also played Maltese because I managed to obtain one, but uh, in this tournament it was pretty pointless. And I don't think I could have done much more apart from playing better probably.
Okay.
But I guess this wasn't my day. Uh, the next tournament, though, in Stuttgart, it actually went pretty well. Um, I remember I I played a lot of this team when I was testing out for the tournament, but I was playing with A slash instead of dance bars. And the night before the tournament, I swapped into the dance bars instead of A slash. I think it actually paid off because in this tournament, dance bars felt very good, and it was very fun because like in the very first tournament I played dance parts and got fifth. Then I stopped playing dance parts, and as soon as I played it again, it went good again. So I felt like okay, dance parts it's what I need. Um, and yeah, I had this team. I don't like to play SERP because it was Azu, Clodsire, dance parts, Gator, Maltese, and SERP. I don't like to play SERP, but I wanted something to avoid people to play just some ABA water or just like some annoying team comps that I didn't want people to play.
Yeah.
Uh, and let's say it wasn't very good at doing that because I had to face people playing hard ABA to superior anyway. uh, but in general, this tournament I think I played very very well. Didn't feel like I misplayed a lot, and the team felt very good for the tournament. So, and luckily I lost in I think it was round three in winners or round four. Yeah, it was round three against Wolfpack. Um, it was a very unique team this time because he had Charger Bag, which was nowhere to be seen because the meta was basically ground everywhere. Um, and in fact, he also had two grounds. Uh, and I remember I had this game when I was feeling fine because I had Serpiri in my team, and I think one game he needed Gastrodon. So I was already calling out the Azu in the back. It's like there's no way he has Azu in the back with Gastrodon. So I played it out to make it sense, but then he had Azu in the back, and I was like, okay, never mind. Sometimes you have to call the teams. There's not much you can do. And this is the first tournament I played without Ariados, I think, because there were plenty of face slash in the latest tournaments. I faced, I think, 4 or 5 in this tournament as well. So, yeah, I didn't want to have Ariados stuck on A slash or stuff like this. Also, Clotside were becoming popular again. So I just benched the Ariados in this case. And I think most of the tournaments again was relying on Gator Cloud Core, which was very popular since the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
and also Dance Park Scaling Clutch in so many games. I think a lot of people disrespected it in this very tournament. I played a lot of Dance Park Lead, and a lot of people were just going ABA to it. Uh, so yeah, Dance Park again was very good, and 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 then after that tournament, I think I lost to Kaifi, which after the tournament he started to actually do very good. I think this was like his very first tournament when he did a very great
Yeah.
result. He got I think it got his very first top 8, and then after that he started getting many day 2
Yeah.
performances. And yeah, I remember I played it out very well, but there wasn't much I could do. Game 3 was actually all 3 games I lost the lead, but I could have done something. But game 3 was just like completely liner independent. I remember, and I just played my best, but I just couldn't do much in this game. Uh, I just noticed how many Gastrodon I faced in that tournament. I didn't remember it was this popular. I faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Not bad.
Okay. So did you actually lost in round 1 of the day 2?
Yeah, like yeah, we started getting top 12 day 2 rather than top 8. So I was actually being able to get to day 2, but I lost immediately. I was hoping to get a top 8 because the difference in points between like
Yeah.
9th place and 8 is like huge. Now it is a bit less, but yeah, the top 8 is like what, like the first goal I have when I go to a tournament, because it's like the minimum placement for the good amount of points.
Yeah. And yeah, there is a very nice gap. I think it's from 200 to 280 or something. No, maybe 160
Yeah, at the
to
moment, yeah, it was
280.
160. Now it's gonna be 200. So it's like
Yeah.
a bit less of a gap, but still pretty solid gap, I'd say. Not as much though. Um, and then yeah, the 2 UK tournaments. I think yeah, Birmingham is the one when we got Corsola for the first time. I got very lucky because during the New Year's period, I was in Japan, and I hoarded some Corsola to trade. So I traded with some Japanese, which were of course most of them were like no friendship or just like low friendship, and I managed to get a very good rank of Corsola. So I decided to play it immediately in the very first tournament. Uh, and I don't know if you have like the screen open with the tournament, but if you notice, I just faced basically only mirror teams,
Yeah.
like 3 of the very same team, probably just one difference in one, and then another one very similar as well. But like 4 out of
Yeah.
6, at least the same, and then 2 are exactly the same, and one there's just one Pokemon difference. So I felt this tournament, Azudrapion is the when the Azudrapion core started to shine the most. Everyone was like playing it, and that was my problem with it. Like um, I think a lot of matchups here were relying on Drapion crunch debuff or winning CMPs, like with Gator. Uh, and I was really unlucky with those. I think I didn't like this tournament especially because I felt like I was playing fine, but I wasn't rewarded for it. And most of the players were playing the same team, so it was very a lot of like CMP or debuff dependent, especially with Diggersby and Drapion debuffing, which was very annoying as well. And Annihilate became popular again.
Yeah.
In fact, I faced Annihilate every single match, and in
Yeah.
fact, I think Annihilate won the tournament. After a long time, he came back because we got the Rage Fist. Uh, but yeah, I think this tournament here was very unfortunate for me in the sense that when I needed to win CMPs or when I needed to get a debuff, I never got it. I remember even to have faced a Gator. I think it was the Reeve. Uh, Usually with my Gator, even if I lose CMP, since it's very HP, very high defense weighted, I usually manage to survive the second hydro cannon with like just like very low health and throw another one, uh, and usually that allows me to get 2 shields out of the Gators. But against his ones, he then showed me after the match he had like very high attacks. So he just like when I got the hydro cannon and it was like I wasn't surviving it. I was like, oh damn, I think I lose this. Just just I can't do much. A lot of Gator mirrors in this tournament where I couldn't win a CMP was very frustrating. But yeah, That
Then
was
you
the
decided to add one extra surprise element for UIC,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you were not the only one, because Zapdos was kind of popular among certain players in
Yeah.
London. Yeah, so probably even Polasha, Marco Shiny, Nantan Clasher also
Yeah,
used
also,
Zapdos.
yeah, we all had the same team, I think,
Yeah.
which was very meta team, just with Zapdos as a surprise pick. And I think it was a very good pick in this tournament. Even if I didn't get to day two, I managed to get very close. Um, and honestly, in this tournament, Zapdos was my MVP. Uh, it was very clutch in the first two matches, especially the first one, which was the very meta team. I think this the very first match I got Annihilate, Azu, Diggersby, Drapion, Gator, Jumpluff. So Zapdos was honestly very safe, let's say. Only Diggersby as a counter. And that was also the I think the Marto team. I think Marto had just won a regional with it, so it was very popular. And this team just consisted in the same team with Zapdos instead of Jumpluff. So he had an advantage over it. And it worked perfectly until I got to winter semis when I faced Nickname again. I faced him a lot of times this season, and I was 1-0, and then I didn't even notice it, but I mistakenly locked in a Shadow Diggersby instead of Diggersby. So we played out the game. Yeah, I won, but then I had to get the game lost because I locked in the wrong Diggersby, and then I lost 1-2 very close. And then it was the very first time actually in my play Pokemon season, and I've been playing since the very first one. So I played over 30 tournaments, I think now. It was the first time I got a game loss for locking in something wrong. I usually don't do that, but since I changed my mind last second, instead of using the tag like for searching for the Pokemon to lock in, I just searched for Diggersby, and I pressed by mistake on the Shadow. I didn't even realize it until he made me notice. Um, then I went to loser side. I won a match, and then I faced a guy with a very weak team to Azu, which consists of Annihilate, Drapion, Mandibuzz, Marowak, which is like 4 times weak to Azu. Then Azu as a neutral answer, and then the Toxapex. That was just, even if your Azu is very good into this team, you still very
I'm afraid, yeah.
afraid of bringing it, because if it just goes on Toxapex, it's over. But I still played it. It never brought the Toxapex until game 3. Luckily, my Azu wasn't on Toxapex, and after like a long game, it was very close to the times up. I think I got my Zapdos on his Toxapex actually at the end with very low health though. Couldn't survive a brine, and the Toxapex was full health. So I remember I just got to the Thunderbolt, and I survived with 1 HP and threw the brine with it. So literally 1 HP. I still remember it. So very unfortunate again. But overall, I was very happy about the performance. I played fine, and I guess for the first time, I got a game loss. I guess it has to happen at some point when you play so many tournaments. But overall, I think here the team was very solid. In fact, I think Nighttime Clasher got top 8 at least with it.
Yeah.
I think it was at least top 8, maybe even 5th place. So the team was very good. It was a very good thought to just play the team Marto won a tournament with Zapdos instead of Jumpluff, because Zapdos, if you look at even at the teams I played against, it always had some play. I'd say maybe the one with Wiggly was a bit worse because also he had Dugong and Korsla, but overall it was a very solid pick. And then after UIC, we got to Utrecht, where I think Tinkaton came out. It just came out. I didn't get a really good one immediately, so I had to play with whatever I had. But the tournament itself went pretty well. It's fun because the team I play was just Diggsby, Gator, Jumpluff, Lapras, Malamar, and Tinkaton, which was a team that just won a regional in NA. I think Pocket had won with it.
Yeah.
Um, but actually, I was building a team which was very similar, and by switching, like by testing the team and switching out a pick or two, at some point I got to this team, and then I showed others, and I was like, "Wow, I really like this team. I think this is what I want to play in Utrecht." And then they all got, "Oh, this is just like Pocket team. It's just then I didn't notice, but it's so good, so I played it." And overall, it was like the only different choice I made compared to Pocket Team was the regular Gator rather than the Shadow one. Um, and it was actually, I think, my MVP in this tournament. The reason I chose to play the regular in this case is because against most of the things, you still like needed two charge moves to take down things anyway. For example, against Tinkaton, you still need to throw two. Even against, for example, where is it? What's it called? Yeah,
But
Malamar. Sorry, Malamar. You need to throw two. You need to throw two. So I felt like, okay, I need to throw still two charge moves, but I don't have that bulk. I always have to shield. Well, with Gator, I could survive a move against most things. For example, Tinkaton. Uh,
yeah,
you couldn't. You should have respected the play rough if you played Shadow Gator. But with regular Gator, you could easily survive it. So you could play much better against those picks. And also, I prefer it against Jumpluff simply
yeah,
because you one shot with Ice Beam, but you can survive an acrobatics. So
yeah,
overall, in general, it felt a better play to play regular, and it paid off. In fact, um, the only thing with this team that you needed to avoid fire. This fire was very annoying, especially Typhlosion. Talonflame, you still had some play, but Typhlosion was just very annoying because even with the waters, you had Panda Punch, and especially against Gator, it can still uh, at the same pace but winning CMP. So you know, it was a very annoying pick to play against. In day one, I managed to face only one Typhlosion. Luckily, I won 2-1, but it was a very hard match. And then I got all like pretty standard meta team. Um, I'd say something like regular teams, and I managed to pull it off. I only faced one Talonflame, and the rest of the teams were okay to play against. So uh, Gator was just very good in this tournament. I think they won. I mostly played out Tinkaton, Gator, and Lapras. Most of my matches because they were just so safe, especially against the teams without fire. Like if you notice, like I faced, like the second team I faced was just Annihilate, Diggsby, Gator, Jump Off, Lapras, Tinkaton. So like Tinkaton itself just had to avoid Diggsby, and the third team, Tinkaton just had to avoid Swampert. So like against most teams, like 5 out of 6, Tinkaton was fine. Uh, so you just had to play it. And also the waters in this meta felt very safe. I faced only Cruddy as grass. So like day one, I relied on those three mostly. I never played Jumpluff. Like day one, I never played Jumpluff. So again, it felt like I played with 5 moons. Um, yeah, I didn't like Tinkaton too much. I didn't actually wanted to play it at first because it's a very polarizing pick, and it doesn't have a very good coverage move. You don't have like a move that allows you to flip the bad matchups. If you face a fire, you're just doomed. Like you have Bulldoze, of course, but Bulldoze is such a bad move that it's not even a coverage move. Like you can't even take down Typhlosion with it. So yeah, that's what I didn't like about Tinkaton. But in general, against most teams, it was just like very good in the sense that it was probably fine against 4 or 5 picks. So most of the time, people were just playing ABA into it simply because you couldn't avoid it. It was just very good in most picks. So that's why it was a very good choice for the tournament. Um, but then day two, okay, I faced as the first match a mirror team, but they had the Shadow Gator. So in this case, regular Gator came in clutch because it was just simply better than his shadow against the very same team. Simply because better into Tinkaton, better into Malamar, even against Jumpluff, it's better because you can survive the acrobatics. So it felt like the, both of us were just relying a lot on Gator and Lapras, but the regular Gator was just too good in this matchup, and I came out winning it very close, but still like uh, winning it. Then I had to face a team which was probably the weirdest team I faced until now, which consisted in Chargebag, which was kind of disappeared. Cloudside also kind of disappeared. Dusclops, very rare. Also, Gastro kind of disappeared. So like very unique team. But the annoying thing in this case was Furret, because Furret, I guess my team was very safe if he didn't face the Tinkaton. So it was a very not a very good matchup in like per se, but I
And you
managed
couldn't
to
really bring the Tinkaton because
yeah
of two ground
unfortunately
types and one talent play.
it's like unplayable. So I think like since a lot of times I relied on Tinkaton double water, I felt like I had to change something because I was very predictable. I think so for the for this game in particular, for the first game, I decided to lead a water. Uh, I remember I think I played Gator, Malamar, and what was it? And Diggisby. Uh, so I went with Gator because I expected him to try to catch my Tinkaton in the lead, and then just I think I had to play Malamar not only because he was very good against this team because there was no counter, like there was no fairy, but also because I expected him to rely a lot on Furret, and Malamar was kind of my only answer, so I felt like I had to play it, and it played out perfectly because I remember I got Talonflame lead into my Gator, Safe Swat the Furret, I had Malamar, and then I had Diggsby on Chargerback, so it was just perfect. Um, so
Yeah, well, your Diggersby and your Malamar overall were very safe.
very good,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, you could beat the whole team with those three that you
Yeah.
were saying.
It was like very for the first time I think in this tournament. It was very alignment dependent matchup. Honestly, I just had Diggsby on Chargebag and Gator on Talonflame, so it was like very alignment dependent. I think, but sometimes that's what you need. Um, and then for the first time in the tournament, actually the second time, but for the first time in day two, I faced a Typhlosion, and this time again against Nickname, which was like a name I heard a lot this year. Not only because he did very good in the season, but also because I faced him so many times. Uh, and yet that Typhlosion that was just very annoying, and I couldn't do much. I kind of expected what he would have played against me. It was just simply I couldn't do much because Furret was annoying, Typhlosion was annoying, even Claydol was kind of annoying, but he never played it actually. But yeah, mostly Furret and Typhlosion. It was very hard to manage those two. So I thought if I just try to play neutrally against a team, I have a huge disadvantage. I just lose. Like he's gonna play good, so whatever I do, I'm not gonna win it. So I tried to risk a bit and play some, less safe lines, which just paid off one game. Uh, but yeah, one game I think I could have won, but I tried a bait with Jump Up with 100 energy on Typhlosion, and he called it perfectly. So that's also why I lost the game. But overall, yeah, this is like I think when you face a very bad matchup, you have to risk. Otherwise, if the other player is very good, you're not gonna win it. You have to take
You have
risks.
to try and RPS them. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I tried to say it like in a different way, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But yeah, if you just try to play neutrally against such a team, you just lose. So those are the times when you have to try to just win by alignment. But this wasn't my case. Um, and then I had to face my teammate Maxi, which had also like a very meta team, apart from Drapion, I'd say, because Drapion kind of disappeared in this very tournament because of Tinkaton. And actually, Drapion against my team was very annoying. It's like Malamar
Yeah,
was
you
in good.
didn't face any actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Jumpers was bad, Gator was bad. Even worse, this was one of the very few cases when you prefer the Shadow Gator over the regular, because you can actually be a menace with an Hydro Cannon to Drapion, but with regular you really can't. So Gator, Jump of Lapras, and Malamar were just bad, and you just had the Diggsby, where actually Drapion has play, and Tinkaton to counter it. So Drapion was very annoying. Uh, and also, yeah, the Talonflame, because I'm just not very good into fire in general. And yeah, like I think I could have played this out probably again better. He also played very good, and I think I lost a matchup when he did a very crazy play of catching an Hydro on Talonflame, which sounds awkward if I say it like this, but that allowed him to sneak an Incinerate, which was what allowed him to win the game. So yeah, uh, this was a tournament where I didn't want to face fire at all, and I faced many. I
Yeah.
managed to win some, but when you know, sometimes you just can't do more than that. They can be repetitive on this, but if you analyze every single tournament, uh, this happens enough.
Yeah, you have to decide which Pokemon you you accept to be weak to, and yeah, and by judging where the meta is going,
Yeah,
try and understand which one actually you can afford being weak to. And yeah, this time being weak to fire wasn't the best of the
yeah,
calls, but still you got a very good results, because overall your team got ahead playing against the other 5 Pokemon almost every
yeah,
time.
yeah, and yeah. The only thing is, I regret a bit. Yeah, I knew fire would have come in this tournament. In fact, we had like more than 40% fire usage between
Yeah,
Typhlosion and
combining Typhlosion and something.
yeah, and Talonflame. But I just felt so good with the team. And sometimes I think feeling good with the team is more important than
Yeah,
bringing the right team like for that tournament.
yeah,
But sometimes you just have to face the fact that even if you face good with the team, you might not have like the best matchup always. And also, like, another part of the team that I liked is that the team itself had no more than 2 turns fast moves in his move sets, which is something I like a lot because I don't like playing 3, 4, 5 turns moves. Uh, so it was just like the perfect choice for me, and it worked out. I think it could have worked out better, but I can't complain with a third place here. So in fact, for the last tournament in Bologna, I just decided to play the very same team, just with Drapion instead of Malamar. So it's like a different dark, because Shadow Malamar just came out, um, and I wanted to be a bit like stronger into it, into Jump Laugh as well, and also into Typhlosion, since I was still scared of it. So I wanted something that could play a bit better into it. So Drapion, I think like Drapion and Two Waters already scares them out better than having Malamar. But yeah, yeah, this didn't play out very well. I just lost both of my matches. Uh, I played 2 Blastoise, and Blastoise was very annoying for the team. I thought I could have dealt better with it, but yeah, I just was losing to it, honestly. Both of the matches, my opponents always play Blastoise. I couldn't play around it very well. So yeah, that was it. Very, very, very quick tournament. Actually, this was the worst tournament of the season. Sometimes it happens.
yeah, yeah. That was the Blastoise tournament basically, because everyone was trying and use Blastoise, hopping on the Blastoise hype train after Axon won, I think,
Yeah,
Portland. I don't remember which tournament was it yet, but it was a tournament won with Blastoise. And yeah, so a lot of Blastoise users, and I agree because Blastoise was extremely strong with basically the only real answer in the meta. So the grass type being a
Yeah.
little bit pushed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cradle is still very risky, and yeah, because of the Tinkertons, and also because of the Malamars. So yeah, not really the best of the situations to bring Blastoise counters. And yeah, so that was unfortunate. I also saw that you faced Hache in your in the game
Yeah,
that you
immediately.
eventually lost. Yes, and it was a mirror team, but yeah, with Blastoise instead of Feraligatr, basically.
Yeah, it was very close game, and I lost the last one by CMP. So, uh, you know, sometimes you can be very close, but a loss is still a loss.
Yeah, I can see a pattern though in your season because you do one great results,
And then
two
too
bad
bad,
results,
and then a
one great
good, and then
results, two bad. Yeah, you do one. Yeah, it's 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Yeah, so potentially following this pattern, your next tournament should be Worlds, and following this logic, you should go very bad at Worlds, but maybe the
right.
first regional of the next year you should go very, very well.
But maybe we hope to break the pattern, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just to do the reverse, maybe you can just go well in Worlds, and then you can accept going bad in the next season
Yeah.
in the first regional. But yeah, so overall, I'd say pretty decent season that allowed you to just sitting comfortably within the top 50 in Europe, although no stipend.
Yeah,
So
very
yeah,
true.
yeah, it was a long shot. I guess you should have just gotten a top four or something like this in Bologna.
I
You
think
know,
that just day two was enough, probably, because day 2
Mhm.
I had 100 points tournament that I could have improved. So with a top 8, I would have got 180 more because it's 280. So that would have made that would have allowed me to go to 1430 because I think it was enough for the stipend because I think the last spot was 1370.
Yeah.
I
So
just
you
remember
needed, yeah,
because like I because I would look at it, but yeah, I was aiming for day 2 in this tournament, but it's not my tournament. Yeah, yeah. I have a pattern I have to fix because like one of my grudges is like I never managed to go do 2 day 2 in a row. Like never. I have several day 2s overall in these years, but I never get 2 in a row, which is something I have to break at some point.
yeah. So let's hope you're gonna start with the right foot in Worlds. Yeah, to
Yeah,
keeping this the Italian honor high. And yeah, but let's have a chat now about the thing we have seen in the NAIC because yeah, actually there is a lot to talk about. Although we have explored the topic with the other guests, and more or less there is a consensus about what turned out to be surprisingly good, what turned out to be a little bit disappointing. So yeah, briefly, do you agree that the winning Pokemons, not I mean, not the actual Pokemon that won the tournament,
yeah,
but the Pokemon that benefit the most from the meta were basically Caesar, Drapion, and the Rockwanid.
yeah. I would say also Dusclops, uh, simply because uh, I think Ghost is very viable now, and I feel like Dusclops is the bulkiest one because you always want bulk, which can deal with Diggsby. 'Cause like
Mm.
usually Ghosts don't do very well against Diggsby, but Dusclops is fine and also have a lot of neutral play into even like Araquanid, Lapras, even the Den
Yeah,
itself, like, and also even if you play the Shadow Dusclops, you have some play even into Drapion. So I'd say also Dusclops, but yeah, I'd agree with those three being the ones that got the most benefit. Um, you know, especially in this case, I'd say Araquanid was very not much on the spot. People were just focusing on Golisopod, but Araquanid was also a very good choice for this tournament.
Yeah, yeah. It turned out to be a very nice way to shut down the damage from Shadow Caesar, being able
Yeah,
to endure the bullet punches was also great.
yeah,
He also plays pretty well against Mandibas despite the air slash, and he plays pretty well against the Shadow Dusclops because of the damage breakpoint on the Shadow version.
yeah,
Yeah, so very annoying if you don't put a Danny on it, basically.
yeah. It's very hard to deal with, especially because of the bubble beam, which is very annoying, and especially if you lose the lead against a Raquanid, they can just bubble beam you and dip into something else. So
Yeah,
it's
very
something that,
punishing. Yeah.
yeah, it has to be considered for Worlds for sure. A Raquanid is gonna be something.
Yeah, and what other picks do you envision we're gonna see? Because of course now we have no more tourney to look at,
Yeah,
so yeah, we don't really have a competitive usage data in front of us. We just have to figure out ourselves what's gonna work, what doesn't work. But yeah, for sure, people will try and counter the It's Saxon winning team,
yeah.
and people will try to will try and counter these are the guys who are trying to counter its Saxon team. So it's gonna be maybe more ground types to counter the
So
Dene. What do you think?
so I think despite that team winning, I think also another thing that people should really be aware is Caesar, but I think people is aware of the existence of Caesar, and I think um, probably we saw like not many fire types in this tournament. Actually, probably kind of disappeared. But I
Yeah,
think we're gonna see them again in Worlds simply because of Caesar. Because it's like Caesar didn't win the tournament, but if you check the top 32, uh, there were just like a few. Probably it wasn't even top usage. Probably just because a lot of people didn't have one, uh, and just two of them got to top three and top four. So surely the Pokemon is good. It was just like not much represented in this tournament. So I think Caesar is gonna be the other thing to counter. So we could see like a Rays of Fire. Um, and I think like the other thing that people should be very aware of is, of course, the Dene, because the Dene is neutrally insane. Uh, if it doesn't face ground, it can just walk through anything. It's just so good neutrally because the parabolic charge is so good now. It's basically a clone. I think it's a clone of the old foul play. It's a 4570. Uh, I don't know which move now. It's 4570. If there's one left because they mostly nerfed or buffed them, but so it's a very good move. And also I have the like that defense buff with a pacing of 5 is just crazy good. If you don't have a ground, just an electric type which can boost himself so much. It's just so good. And the Dene is gonna be one of those polarizing picks, uh, which people is gonna rely on because it's just like breaks a lot of cores, but it's also walled hard by ground. So we might see something I don't like because I don't like these polarizing picks. It's just like then I can't really fight back, for example, a Digsby or a Clodsire, uh, but he's also just neutrally too good into anything else. So it's like that pick that you feel like you have to play it because it's so good, but also it can be so punishing if it just goes on the ground. So uh,
yeah,
I
probably
think those
similar
are like,
to what Corsola was. So it's so strong usually that you know that they will try and bring bring the only wall that exists
yeah, yeah. I
in
think
the
Corsola is
meta.
a very good example. Yeah, because like it doesn't have the buffing move, but it has so much bulk that it was basically the same. It's neutrally so good, but walled by that one thing. And I think this is like the very same. And we might see both of them actually, because Corsola is still very playable now, even with the nerf. Like as I said, Ghost is a very playable typing now because of the all those bugs buffs. Bug is very popular nowadays because Caesar, Golisopod, Araquanid, every team has one basically. So a Ghost is good now. especially one that I think wasn't played enough, and I think it's very good that we might see at Worlds. Is just Shadow Annihilate, because it's that ghost that can face normal very easily, uh, and dark, of course. So I think we might see some of those as well. Also, very fine into Caesar because you just do more damage and you're more bulky. So, but I think, yeah, if I had to say what's gonna be probably something that is gonna be in the winning team of Worlds, yeah, I'd say for sure Annihilate or Size or Caesar or Dedenne. These three I think uh, are gonna be very important in Worlds. And
Yeah,
then of course, the usual picks. But I think these three are so good right now,
yeah.
along with Drapion Dusclops. Yeah,
And there are a lot of Pokemon that you can actually build your team around. Of course, there are there are the more meta ones, but also there are a lot of forgotten Pokemon that can just pop out again.
yeah,
And now, yeah, and then now we haven't seen even once. For example, I mean, I'm just throwing ideas out there, but and I wouldn't be surprised if actually someone brought Legitang or
oh yeah.
Dragonair, for example. We haven't seen Dragalge almost at all.
No, I don't.
The
Probably
yeah,
once on stream. Probably it was an AC, but yeah, that's also a pick. AC is very good now, so it also is playable. And what was the other pick? You just said.
either Dragonair or Legitang.
Oh,
Also,
Lickitung. Yeah, Lickitung. I think Lickitung is something I wanted to try because of RAP. It might be fine if it managed to get some breakpoints on meta stuff I didn't check yet, but it's also very possible pick. I just don't know how good it is, but sometimes even if you think something is not good enough, just by bringing it and people not having any knowledge about it, because people is not gonna have like that knowledge for rap Licky Tongue, it might just surprise people and you might win just by people misplaying against it. So it's
yeah,
never a bad idea to bring something that might be good, uh, which is not that good, but still can throw off your opponents.
yeah. I think this is
So,
going to be very, very important, especially with the meta is so wide. You can't really bring a very common meta team because everyone is going to be very prepared against your Pokemon. So you
oh
just
yeah,
need to put a couple of surprises just so that your opponent doesn't actually know the matchup when the team sheets uh, are exchanged. Yeah, this can be something you can use to your own advantage.
yeah. There's so many picks that you can play. That I could like if we start naming them, you never finish. Like I could say just Whizzing, Valerian Whizzing, of course, Jelly Sand. There's so many picks that you can play nowadays that
Yeah, it can
you
make
might
totally sense. Yeah,
yeah, which I like, but also it's gonna be hard to be good against everything. So uh, surely you need like the right team at the right moment. So
yeah,
even if you feel like the winning team, you need to avoid something because you can't cover everything.
yeah. So you need to build a both a core breaker team and also yeah, you need to be lucky enough not to face any team that could break yours. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a golden rule that is always valid for all the tournaments, but especially for Worlds where everyone is also as good as you. So you can't really rely on easy draws
yeah,
because yeah, yeah, this is not going to happen for Worlds. Every match is going to be tough.
yeah. And I think especially at Worlds, since it's the only tournament where you can have like Europeans, American, Japanese, Australians, South Americans, whatever, APAC in general, like you have all of these people like mixed up, and the meta is different in every single
Yeah,
region. So you're gonna have like the most diverse meta ever, and especially like the Japanese bring always crazy teams. So like you
yeah,
might face a Japanese round one, you just face whatever you're not expecting. So it's very hard to have the right call at words. So
yeah. So that maybe the recipe is just to practice with as many people as possible before Worlds, so that you have a better idea of
yeah,
how to play against
exactly.
player having many different playing style.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, it's going to be hard, but also it's going to be fine. But yeah, since we are approaching to the end of the interview, I want to ask you very briefly your favorite PvP Pokemon and your favorite Pokemon in general, if you have any.
So my okay, PvP Pokemon, I'd say Alolan Sandslash, of course. It's the it was like my MVP like back in 2 seasons ago, probably, when I really started to rely on it, and I just like how it looks. And then if I had to say like my favorite Pokemon in general, I would say Banette. I just like how it looks. It's bad in Pokemon Go, unfortunately. I hope at some point it can become meta, especially because it might core well with A Slash, you know. But yeah, I think it's unplayable at the moment, so it doesn't have any
Okay.
bait.
Yeah. So this actually gives me a hook to jump to the next question. So if you could modify something about the game, if you could force an update just with the power of your hands right now, would you give Shadow Punch to Banette?
Well, I'm not sure if Shadow Punch is what it would make it meta. Probably yeah, because like what he needs now is just like a good like move that is also cheap. Uh, but I definitely would, just because like I would like to play it once in a tournament. But it's just so bad at the moment. Their charge move, its charge moves are so bad. So like I mean, yes, Shadow Ball, but you never reach it. It's just like too glassy.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I would.
Okay, and a player from your local community, or maybe, I mean, he doesn't really have to come from your local community, but a player you are close with, that you believe they have what it takes to be a great player next year, and maybe they didn't qualify for World just because they didn't put the right amount of effort.
So if I had to say local scene, I would say my friend Daniele. I think his nickname is Sonic65. I think he started just like a year ago to play tournaments, usually stuff when he can. But I think I'd say he's the one in my local community that started later but improved a lot. It just like played only one tournament, so. But I'd say like if I had to say someone in my local community, uh, which I would like mention, it would be him. I think if he just tried a bit more to play tournaments, he would do well at some point. But yeah, he just played once.
Yeah, so let's hope he's gonna play more events next year. And yeah, so we actually to the end. So we are that's a wrap with the questions, but actually not a wrap, because I have the last question. So just tell your audience where they can find you and follow your PvP journey. If you do any coaching activity, make sure you mention the right channels where they can reach you out.
Well, I used to stream, as you can see probably from the setup I have here. But it's been a while since I did one, so at the moment I'm on a hiatus, I would say. But yeah, you can find me on X as AMindJoke Pogo. That's the only one I use at the moment, probably very frequently. Yeah, I would say that's the, the only one.
Okay. So any plan on doing some coaching in the future?
Like I think to be able to coach, you would need to be not only good at the game, but good at actually teaching people stuff in general. Yeah, and I don't feel like myself doing it. Like I don't think I would be good enough at coaching, even if I know the game. I think there would be better people at doing it anyway. So I wouldn't just bother with it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, you don't have to coach. It's not a must.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like if you can, and you feel like it, you can do it. But sometimes it's not about only the fact that you can do it. It's how you feel about it. Yeah.
And also some of us maybe might not be just patient enough, and
yeah. Definitely.
actually realized.
Game, yeah.
Okay, so it's been a pleasure, Alessio, to speak with you. Hope you had a good time too. And yeah, so see you in person in California for sure. And yeah, but we also chat almost every day. Yeah, so that's going to be easier for us to stay in touch. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, and see you for now, and take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.